Hello everyone, welcome back to Returning to Basics. I'm in my muscadine vineyard today and I'm doing a little pruning. I thought you might want to follow along with me and see how you actually prune muscadines. Pruning your vineyard is key to the health of your vines and to the success of your vines, and it actually helps them to produce. If you don't prune them, they really won't produce on the long term. And so it's very important that you prune them. And how you prune them is also key and important. When you prune them is important. Here it is. It's the first week of February, the end of the first week of February. And I like to usually prune my vines, not in November, but around Valentine's Day. And so I start pruning mine about now. Why? Because I give them more time to make it through the winter without trauma. And I think that's very important. But if you wait too late, they'll start weeping a lot. And according to some people, that's okay. But I like to cut mine before you do that. So you see some of the things that I've done before on some of the video I'll show you here on the vines. But here's a vine behind me. You see my snakes, my plastic snakes that I buy from the dollar store. I use these to repel birds during the fruiting part of the season. But you want a hand's width or a hand's breadth between every node. Can you see how I have that? But things grow during the season and they get in the way. And anything on the bottom you want to take out, like that right there, off the bottom. Cut a little bit of these out of the way so that I can actually get in here and you can see. You say, well, where are you cutting them? You want to leave 2 to 3 buds on the new growth. And you can see the buds. And so I'm leaving 2. That's what I'm doing. 1, 2, there's 3. There's 3. 3. 2. 2. And you just get those out of your way. And right now, that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing that to get things out of the way so that I can actually get in here and start making decisions about what I'm going to keep and what I'm not going to keep. And it takes a little bit. Get around over here where you can see better. See, this is on the bottom here, and it's in the way. You can't keep everything. And I know it's difficult for some of you to say, gosh, I just can't cut that much off of my vines. It's so hard. Well, if you don't, they won't produce well. See, this is down on the bottom, in the way, on the bottom, on the bottom. You want those out of the way. Down on the bottom in the way. Okay. This is on the bottom in the way. They will really grow. They're extremely prolific. Someone said the way you cut your muscadine vines is like they belong to your neighbor. I say the way you cut your muscadine vines is like they belong to the neighbor you don't like. So you cut them way back. Cut them way back. Under the bottom. Under the bottom in the way. Growing down in the way. Okay. I think you can see this section here. Here's a hand breadth, hand width. This one is on the bottom and in the way. This one's on the bottom in the way. I like to try and leave crowns at the top so that they'll grow up here. It's like, well, this one's on the bottom of the way. So now I have to make some decisions. Which ones am I going to leave and which ones am I not going to leave? I'm going to take that off right there and give this triple group an opportunity to grow. This is in the way over here, so I'll take it off. This is old wood right here. Last year it's brown. Okay. That little piece is under there in the way. Right, how much of this am I going to leave? Cut off all the old little fruit stems. This one's on the bottom. Here's a good end. There's no need to have that much beside it. There's 1, 2 buds. Put that off. That one's under there. Cut that one out of the way. Now I'll clean that up pretty good. Bottom. Now clean this pretty good. You will be surprised at how much will come out whenever it starts growing. It's under the bottom there. I want to stop, I want to terminate here at my pole. So what I'm going to do is cut this one off the bottom there, cut this off the end, leave 2 buds on that one. This is on the bottom, cut it off, on the bottom, cut that off. That's how we trim back our muscadine vines. One thing you need to remember for sure, this is the time that you prune your muscadines. And this is the only time you prune your muscadines. You don't prune them during the growing season. You don't prune them any other time. You leave them alone. Because if you do, you will hurt the health of your vine. They will get long and bushy, and they'll even go over and hit the ground, and they'll go way up high, and they'll grow extremely long, and they'll grow into one another. Let them do that. Let them produce their fruit. And if you think that they had too much, then prune them back better next year. Now, you'll get more confident as the years go by. I am. See how much it grows? All of these weren't here last year when I pruned. These are very prolific vines, all of them. They will grow tremendously. And I'm using a nice set of Corona bypass pruners. You need a good sharp set of bypass pruners. You produce fruit off of last year's growth. And you say, well, how can I tell it? You can see. This is brown. It has no buds. But this does. That has a bud there, a bud here, a bud here. So I'm going to terminate it right there. This doesn't have a bud, but then here's one, and here's one, and here's one. And so there's where we will have our new growth and our new fruit there. So hand width, hand width, hand width, hand width, hand width, all the way out to the end. Hand width. Do not exceed the capacity of your little hand pruners or you will ruin them. And a good pair is not cheap, particularly Coronas. They're about $30, a good pair. That pretty much cleans it up. It's last year's wood. Get on. Okay, so I have some buds right in here to grow. Here, separated by a hand. Here, here, here. That's enough. Here. I wish this one was over a little bit further, but you can't always have everything you want. And there we go. And it takes about 15 or 20 minutes per vine. This has nothing on the bottom. Everything's coming up on the top toward the sun. There's enough room, and believe me, you think, my goodness, you cut that back. That vine will die. It will not. This vine will really do well. There's a big trunk here. This vine will produce a lot of water. Run it up through here. And I will get a tremendous crop of purple muscadines from this vine. Here is about a 3-year-old vine, 2 or 3-year-old vine that I just pruned today. And you want it to come up, and you see that I have terminated it about right here, about 2 foot out, and I have one up, one, and there's one, and really and truly it's down on the bottom. So let's cut it out of the way. Here's one. And that's too many, actually. So there's one, a hand breadth. There's one, here's one, here's one, and I'm letting the vine go on out. So there you go. That's how you prune the young ones. By the way, some of you are probably wondering, can I transplant those cuttings? You could if they were grapes, but because they're muscadines, they will not root. And so the only way to propagate muscadines is, that I know of anyway, that's successful, is air rooting. And I'll air root some later in the year and show you. But what I always do is leave something like this. Leave one vine that comes down off the main trunk, and I leave one vine so that I can put it in a soda bottle and put some Miracle Grow in there and actually propagate that vine. Thanks for coming with us today. If you have comments about this, suggestions, questions, please leave a comment below. We really appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time out of your life and your day to be on our channel, to visit us. God bless you. Have a great day.